over her, apparently unwilling to take no for an answer. She was a brunette with a pretty face, a bit heavy-set but nicely dressed in a skirt and a short-sleeved T-shirt, and with a beautiful shawl around her shoulders. Across the T-shirt the words San Francisco were stenciled, with a little flower growing up out of the letter F. She managed to shake off her persistent suitor, who made an angry remark and left. He gave her time to settle down before he approached her. "Have you been there?" he asked. The brunette looked up. She couldn't place him. "To San Francisco," he added, pointing at the shirt. She looked down at her breasts. "Oh, this?" she asked. "It's a delightful city," he said. "You should go sometime." She looked at him, debating whether to tell him to push off like she told the others. Then she seemed to remember meeting him before. "There's so much going on there," he said. "In Frisco, a lot to see." She smiled. "Fancy meeting you here," she said. "Yes, nice to see you. Are you here alone?" "Alone? Yes." "So what about Frisco? You must go." "I know, Her words were drowned out by the noise. He passed his hand over his jacket pocket and leaned over her. "The airfare's not cheap," he said, "but I went there once. It was great. A delightful city." He used certain words deliberately. She was looking up at him, and he imagined her counting on the fingers of one hand how many young men she had met in her life who would use a word like delightful. "I know, I've been." "Oh, well, then, may I join you?" She hesitated for a moment, then moved over to make room for him. Nobody took any notice of them in the bar, nor when they left a little over an hour later and headed back to his place, taking deserted side streets. By then, the drug was working. He had offered her another margarita, and as he'd returned from the bar with her third drink, he'd slid his hand into his jacket pocket to palm the pill and slipped it into her glass. They were getting along fine, and he was sure she would give him no trouble. The Criminal Investigation Department received the notification 2 days later. Elinborg was on duty, and she called out the team. When she arrived at the scene, traffic police had already closed off the road in the Thinkholt district, and the forensics officers were just pulling up. She saw a representative of the regional medical officer get out of his car. At the start of a case, only forensics team members were permitted to enter the flat to carry out their investigations. They froze the scene, as they put it. Elinborg made the necessary arrangements as she waited patiently for the forensics team to give her the go-ahead. Journalists and other media reporters were gathering, and she observed them at work. They were pushy. Some were even rude to the police, who were keeping them away from the crime scene. One or two of the TV reporters looked familiar: a vacuous quiz show host who had recently transferred to the news, and the presenter of a political chat show. She had no idea why he should be down here with the news teams. Elinborg recalled her early days with the CID, when she'd been one of only a handful of women detectives. Back then, the reporters had been much more polite, and far fewer. She preferred the press journalists. Print media people were less rushed, less overbearing, and less self-important than the TV reporters toting their video cameras. Some of them could even write. Neighbors stood at their windows or had stepped out into their doorways, arms crossed in the autumn chill, puzzlement on their faces. They had no idea what had happened. Police officers had started questioning them. Had they noticed anything unusual on the street, or specifically at the house, anyone coming or going? Did they know the resident? Had they been inside? Elinborg had once rented a flat in Thinkholt, long before it had become fashionable. She had liked living in this historic area on the hillside above the old town centre. The houses, which varied in age, encapsulated a century of the history of building and architecture in the city. Some had been humble labourers' cottages. Others had been grand villas built by wealthy entrepreneurs. Rich and poor, masters and workers,